It's now 19 games into the regular season, meaning we've had a chance to see exactly how the second base rotation will work, with Merrifield receiving 5 starts, Biggio with 6, and Espinal with 8. Pretty equal playing time. But given how these three have performed to start the season, is it time to give Merrifield the everyday role at second base? First off, let's narrow it down. It's either Espinal or Merrifield. With Biggio's subpar opening to the season, it's safe to say that he is the odd man out here. It's a real shame because from the 2019 and 2020 season, he was talked about as highly as Vlad and Bo. But the past couple of years have been riddled with injuries, inconsistent play, and unfortunately, the 2023 season has started poorly for him. So let's do a deep dive on Merrifield and Espinal. To start the year, it's pretty obvious Merrifield has been performing far better than Espinal, posting a .314 average and 7 RBIs in only 14 games played, while Espy is still struggling to find his bat with a .114 average through 12 games. Merrifield's stats are looking very similar to his best days in Kansas City. His OPS is sitting at a 743, close to his career OPS of 757, a very promising sign given how his slugging percentage is sitting at a mere .392 because of his lack of extra base hits. But they'll come, especially given how he's picking up the ball early on. But regardless, he's the type of guy to have a high average, get on base, and steal bags. And having him batting around the 6th spot puts him in a prime position to knock in a few runs and get on base for the bottom of the lineup. His defense, which has been subject to questioning, hasn't been too bad this year either. In his 16 attempts at second base, he's produced a 69% success rate against a 70% estimated success rate, compared to Espinal's 79% success and estimated success rate. Both have one error on the season so far, with a throwing error from Merrifield in his 5 games and a fielding error from Espinal in 8 games, taking away the narrative at least early on that Merrifield is a far worse defender. But one thing that makes Espinal such an intriguing option is his track record, more specifically his 2022 season. During that time, he secured his first All-Star game, had a 2.2 WAR, and was a mainstay in the Jays lineup. But his numbers are mainly inflated by a very successful first half of the season. An interesting figure to note is that up until June 19th, Espinal carried a .298 average, .350 OBP, .451 slugging, and an OPS of .801. But after that, everything went downhill and he wasn't able to continue anywhere close to this pace, and his OPS slumped back down to .692 and closer to his career norm. It's still early, but we have yet to see Espinal return to his early 2022 days for quite some time now. And the AL East is the most competitive division in baseball, with the Rays, Yankees, Orioles, and Red Sox all performing. So the Jays are in no position to just hand out time to a player who is underperforming in hopes of them returning back to their form with consistent play. Something to note is that the opening to the 2023 season is very similar to 2022 regarding second base. Last year we didn't know who was going to take over and expected it to be mainly a rotation between a couple of guys. But we saw Espinal take the reins early on with an impressive start to the season. That may be happening again, but this year with Merrifield. Now, I know what you're thinking. If Merrifield takes over second base, then there won't be a solid replacement for the outfield, especially with how many off days Kiermaier and Springer will be receiving this year. It would only leave Biggio and Nathan Lucas to cover the outfield, giving Espinal the job to cover the left side of the infield. That's why I think it's difficult to say Merrifield should be 100% every day at second base. Because I, along with everyone else, should rather take Merrifield in the outfield and Espinal at second base, rather than Merrifield at second and Biggio or Nathan Lucas in the outfield. That's why I believe that while Merrifield should be the majority shareholder at second base, it should be along the lines of 60 or so % of the time, which would still give Espinal some time there when Merrifield is needed in the outfield. But what do you guys think about the decision the Jays have at second base? Should Merrifield take over the majority of the time, or should they continue with the way that they have been handling it? I'll make sure to respond to each and every one of you in the comments. And of course, if you enjoy content like this, then make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and we are inching in. So I'd just like to say thank you guys for the support recently. I truly appreciate everything. And I'll see you all in the next video.